Okay, so now I would like to compare and contrast the different ways the three organizations are governed and managed. I would like to look at them in three ways. One is the funding, budgeting, and reporting of the organizations. Then it's the mission of the organization, how the way the governing and managing help the organization to achieve their mission. And lastly, I'd like to talk about the difference on how decisions are made when dealing with performance issues. First, we start with funding and budgeting of the organizations. The Ministry of Social Development is funded by the government. By this, they are able to focus more on the service they are providing and not worry too much about funding. This is why they were able to change into an outcome focus, even though it will cost more time and resources for the organization. The association Chilean Day Surgeon that was funded by member organizations. The income they earn will be reinvested into the same institution. They will have to pay close attention on financial performance, as if they do not make a profit, they will have trouble keeping the organization running and providing the service to the public. On the other hand, the Sydney Cross City Tunnel was funded by a private company, CKI, and they have to bear all losses by themselves, which lead to the management team focusing a lot on how to collect toll charges, which could not be a good thing because road users may find the toll too expensive and use an alternative free route, but instead would get to their destination even slower than before the tunnel was built. So and the MSD budgeted on their performance outcome. The ACHS budgeted on revenue earned of 6% by the governing team, and the cross-city tunnel's budget was based on a wrongly estimated number of road users and was running into financial collapse. The MSD reports to the government not on the profit they make, but on the outcome of their services. It is very hard to measure whether a person is happier than before, and this is normally done through survey and looking at how the people they've helped, how their living environment is at the moment. The ACHS reports to their affiliated companies, which are their main stakeholder, on how financial performances and financial position of the entity. And the affiliated companies will know how well the entity is performing, and since ACHS is operating in a competitive market with other two companies, if they are not performing well enough, there is always the risk that the affiliated companies may choose to change to other providers of health and workforce safety. The Sydney Cross City Tunnel reports once a year internally, and this could cause some problem because the Road and Traffic Authority was not well informed of how the CCT is actually performing, and when things do go wrong, the public service they are trying to provide will be in trouble, and the RTA will not be quick enough to respond to it. Next, I would like to compare the missions of the three organizations and how their mission influences the way the organizations are governed and managed. First, we see the Ministry of Social Development. Their mission is to improve the quality of life for New Zealanders by moving them off the benefit and into a sustainable future. The organization was governed well towards this mission by changing their measure of focus and from output measure to a performance outcome measure, and this will better represent their achievement towards their mission. The policy from the head office was passed down to the managing level, and they were well aware of what they need to achieve, and can effectively manage human resources, finance, property, and funds to achieve this mission. The ACHS's mission is to achieve working environment that are safe and secure for workers of their affiliated companies. The governing board of the ACHS are built towards satisfying what workers need, as the board has both workers and business people in it. And Heerman, the chairman of the board of directors, emphasized on the well-being of workers, and the organization invested a lot of resources to ensure optimum quality medical attention for its members. The emphasis and concern for human beings was also evident in the personnel policies and in the treatment of workers in the institution itself. The mission eventually turned into a strong competitive advantage for the ACHS over other mutualities in the market. And lastly, the mission for the Sydney Cross-City Tunnel is to reduce traffic congestion, improve the reliability of public transport, provide a safer environment, and improve amenities to vehicles, cyclists, and pedestrians. And they're also estimating to improve the travel time of road users going through the area by approximately 20 minutes. This mission was set by the Road and Traffic Authority and was implemented by Cheung Kong Infrastructure Holdings Limited. Unlike the other two organizations mentioned previously, the CCT's mission was given from government to government through a tender document that was passed from the RTA, the Road and Traffic Authority, to CKI, and CKI had to come up with a detailed proposal on how they're planning to run the project. And what I've learned from this is that the mission of the Ministry of Social Development was achieved through the governing team changing the way of measuring success and managing new ways of working. And the workers would have more incentive to work for the public, because they're not just going to see them get a job and get off benefit, but instead they will help them sustain the well-being life. And the ACHS's mission also helped them to give more concern for human beings, and not just to treat, but treat with love. And at the end, this mission became a competitive advantage for them in the market. And on the other hand, the Sydney Cross-City Tunnel's mission was good, but the way to implement this mission might not be the best, because the time taken to travel did improve if the road user chooses to take the tunnel, but it also caused an increase in time taken if they choose to take another route. Okay, now I would like to look at another comparison on how the organizations make the decision and on performing issues. The Ministry of Social Development has its head office making main decisions and policies, and the regional offices will take action by implementing the decision made by the head office. The regional office will also collect data and analyze them, and will advise the head office on decision or changes on what they think are appropriate. The head office also allows the regional office to make some decisions independently. The ability of the head office informing the policy to the realties at the front line improved a lot, and their service line are better able to feedback on what is needed, which are helpful for solving all the performance issues. And in comparison, the ACHS's decision is made from the chairman of the board of directors, and this can more quickly respond to performance issues because it only requires one person to make the decision instead of calling a meeting from all the members of the board. And the board of directors will also discuss about big issues that are not too immediate. Decisions in this way is reached through discussion and reaching a solution for the issue. And there is also a voting system that they can use where each board member has one vote and the chairman has two. But it was never used because the board members are always able to reach a mutual agreement at the end of each meeting. The outcome of the meeting will be passed onto Igaranga, which will then pass down to the people that is operating the organization and providing the service. And lastly, we see that decisions in the Sydney Cross-City Tunnel project are mainly made by CKI, the private company, and big decisions will require approval from government bodies like the Road and Traffic Authority. And before building the tunnel, decisions are mostly based on internal predictions and forecasts from consulting companies. And the RTA approved with the CKI's proposal, but didn't expect the tools will cause the number of users of the tunnel to be so different from what was estimated. So we see that the Ministry of Social Development's decisions are made by the head office, and actions are taken by regional offices, and performance issue will be measured by the regional offices and report back to the head offices. This is a very well structured way leading to the success of the Ministry of Social Development. And the ACHS's way of making a decision is more similar to the Ministry of Social Development. The board of directors and the chairman of the organization gets to make the decision. However, the Sydney Cross-City Tunnel is quite different from the other two, as decisions are made by the team that's building the tunnel, and government is not interfering too much with their decision. And this may be the reason why the project didn't work out as well as it was expected, because when there is a misjudgment, the governing team, the RTA, wouldn't be there to immediately correct it. Yeah, this is my presentation. Thank you for watching.